On this episode of Coastal Fishing Mayhem, we'll be working the inshore grounds of Hillary's, and in particular, the Marmion reef system. This area is packed with rugged limestone bommies and caves, making it a snapper and seriola haven. With swells constantly tearing into the reef, it's not hard to see why the grounds are so good. Broken gravelly bottom and murky water makes it a predator's dream. This time of year, the air temperature is dropping by the day, but warm ocean currents are still hugging the coastline, keeping a great variety of species in very close.
I've got an idea, let's make a fishing show. Well, there we go, guys. First fish in the morning. Sun hasn't come up yet, and I got a feeling this might be a snapper. It's a good little run to start. Get the boat and have a look, see what this is. Nothing better than these pretty mornings where you've got a great scenery in the background and great weather to match the fishing. Now, hopefully we just get a few on the boat today, but quite successful the last couple of trips out here. You just never know what's going to come up. This is on a Z-Man plastic, pilchard by the way, so I've found these things to be so successful lately. And a nice little pinky to start the morning. Beautiful. And that's a nice fat pinky too. He's not a little fella. Well, that's a good start. If we keep nailing a couple of fish like that, I'll be pretty happy. Another morning session before work, and feed for later on will be just nice. So I think this guy might go on the esky actually. So fish number one for this morning. Nice healthy pink snapper, and just look at the way that Nuke pilchard has absolutely stuck in the corner of his mouth there. Really good hookup, really successful little bait, guys. So don't be scared to buy a packet of those. Salmon love them, snapper love them, and we found out that the kingies even had a good sniff at them the other day. So very successful, get them on. When fishing in very clear water for snapper, guys, we've got to make the most of the light change. While it's darker, we've got far more chance of hooking the fish. They're very easily spooked in shallow water, so they'll see the leader, they'll see any sinkers or anything that's not natural, they're going to notice. So just before that sun comes up is the best chance to get ourselves a good couple of snapper.
A steady burley trail plays a crucial role when in shallow waters and fishing an anchor. A burley bag will ensure that the trail never breaks, but a handful of chum every 3 to 5 minutes greatly increases your chance of sparking a feeding frenzy.
Well, there's hookup number 2, and another good fish. I don't think it's huge, but who cares? How much fun is snapper? Come up to the boat, fella. We're, again, not even an hour into the trip. We knew the conditions were going to be good, the bite time was good. It was just a matter of finding the right ground, which I'm going to explain a bit later. There's definitely the right place to be and the wrong place to be, so come on, mate. Just really love the way these things bite in shallow water. Such good fun. Come on, mate. The secret to success on these guys is always use the lightest possible line. Leaders as well. I mean, if you give these guys too much of a visual, you'll be unsuccessful. But this is a solid fish, actually. He's not huge, but he's definitely a fat fish. All right, let's get him straight in the net. There's a fish in the boat and a decent fish on there. This could be anything, because this is a lot heavier gear. Yeah. It's a trouble with small boats. You just, if you're not organised or a little bit unorganised there, you run the risk of losing good fish. Get some line back now. Very important with any solid inshore fish, well, not just inshore fish, but any solid fish in these shallow grounds, that you get their head straight off the bottom. If they get a sniff of reef, they'll use that to their advantage every time. Yeah, this could be anything, guys. It's definitely a very heavy fish. I haven't even got colour yet, so he's still got a bit of line out there. Actually got some line back now. Now guys, this is probably one of the most exciting moments in my life so far. Sorry honey, the baby and our wedding was amazing, but that is a very good kingfish. Look at this. Oh wow. We knew they were around. We had a great session with them last session. And now we've got a very solid kingfish. Persistence, guys. And I'm gonna have to tie this guy right out because we're gonna release him. And I don't want to gaff this guy, and he's definitely not gonna fit in the net. It's gonna be hard work actually, but we'll get there we go. Whoops. Nearly broke the rods. Wait, settle down, mate. Wow. There it is. It's been a while in the making, guys, but that is a very solid kingfish. Very nice. We'll get a measure on this and get a couple of photos, and I think he'll go straight back in the drink. Amazing, awesome. Well, here it is, guys. This is the pink snapper that we hooked just before we got rudely interrupted by a big kingfish. Just to show how much they love these nuke pilchards. He's swallowed that all the way down into the guts. So again, this one might be for the pan. We'll get that placky out and hope for another one. And there we go. It was a matter of seconds between the spiel on that last fish to that one just hitting the bait. It's not huge. Assuming it's another snapper. Oh, how good is that? And again, it doesn't really matter the size on these pinks. When they are hot on the bite, they fight. So even if they're not a metre long, they're giving you a really good run. The reason for that, shallow water, they can't go down, they just go straight out. You get some blistering runs off these guys. Really making this little Ocean Legacy work today. Again, such a fantastic stick. Lots of power, zero weight. And it does assist you with catching decent sized fish too. Not so much pressure on the fish, not so much pressure on your gear. And it makes the fight a lot more enjoyable. We'll get this guy up. Oops. I'll get him in the net. There we go. Yeah, very solid fish. They're all really fat, which is good. Means they're healthy. Probably need to do the same myself, get a bit healthier, put a bit of put on. No monster by any means, but a very solid pinky. This one will get released. We've got a feed in the esky, so we'll get those hooks out. Again, There's that Z-Man nuke pilchard. So successful. We'll get that out of there, throw him back in the water. No, there he is. He's back. Oh, good fish. Good fish. And that was just a pilly floating at the back of the boat. So on this rod we've got the pillies, on that rod we've got the plastics. Whoop, trying not to fall over here. And again, like I've said in many episodes, you need to mix it up, guys. You need to get different baits in the water, fish different styles, because on any given day, the fish might not like a plastic, or they might not like a pilly. But they sure will hit one or the other, let me tell you, if they're in the water. Not a big fish. Who cares? We've got a couple of good ones in the boat. Little pinky. On light gear, say I had to hook that on the other rod, it would have been a lot more fun. So we'll get him back in the drink as well, and one day he'll be a good 8-10 kilo fish and we'll come back and grab him.
In the quest to catch good fish, you need great advice. Today I'm with staff member Daniel Sim from Complete Angler Netherlands, and he's going to give us a few tips on how to successfully work soft plastics in metro waters. Mate, we all know a nicely presented pilchard or a fresh slab of fish is absolute dynamite against metro pinkies, but the soft plastics can work just as good. What advice do you have for anyone that's just starting out?
Well, personally I think weight is your biggest factor into catching pinkies. You want a nice slow fall rate. Another thing to look out for is the hook, making sure the hook on your jig head actually fits your plastic. So metro we generally fish 5" to 7", so a 5/0 hook will fit them both perfectly. Another thing to look out for is the size of your plastic. Don't go too big. Everyone likes that mentality, big fish, big plastic. Not always the case, and especially in shallow water. I find that if you're throwing a big plastic in shallow water, often the pinkies will stay away from it and they get scared from it.
And that's why we're loving the Z-Man nuke pilchard so much, mate, because if we weren't using that, we'd be using a pilchard. The advantage is you've got a light jig head in that instead of a couple of big ugly hooks. So in clear water, it's a big advantage in catching pink snapper, isn't it?
Oh, for sure, definitely.
Mate, thanks so much for your time.
No worries at all.
And if you want to know more about anything to do with pink snapper fishing, drop in at Complete Angler Netherlands. The boys sure know their stuff. For follow-ups on our episodes and handy fishing tips, catch us on Facebook and Instagram at Coastal Fishing Mayhem.
There we go, on again. Whoa! The only problem with small boats and cameras is obviously we're going to bounce around a bit here, guys, but you'll get the gist of what's going on. Trying to clean my sunnies then and didn't even get a chance to get the water off the bloody lenses before this guy hit. Fortunately, we need the smaller fish to hit the small rod, the bigger fish hit the big rod. We're just skull dragging these at the moment. Here he comes. Again, that's a nice little legal fish. In the boat. The crazy thing about this is all these fish are coming in the boat and bite time's only just started. So, get him back in the water straight away. Yeah. Oh. Back in the net, that was a safe drop at least. And straight back in the water. See you, buddy. So just as a bit of a recap on how to put a pilly on, guys. So after we bring this fish in. don't get a chance to do anything at the moment. This could be a better fish. Yeah, it's a solid fish. It's very important that you get the hooks in your bait right, so that when you've got a lot of current like we have right now, that fish sits nice and steady in the water. You want it to look very natural, almost swimming in the current. Otherwise the fish will just see a dead rock and they won't touch it. It's got a bit of weight to it, this guy. Absolutely inhaled the bait, you saw that. Plastic in this case. You'd have to say this is the closest you're going to get to Metro Mayhem. Inshore fishing at its absolute peak. I can't wait to see what this is. It's a kingy bray, so mate, they're in force. These kingies are just spectacular fish. Absolute machines when it comes to light tackle. Oh wow, here's a good one. Absolutely solid. Again, we're gonna have to tire him right out, because if I try to put his head in that net, it's about the only thing that's gonna fit in there. So I'll tail grab this guy again. Tail grabbing is very safe, guys, provided you make sure that you know where your line direction is, and if the hook's slingshot out of the fish, they don't catch you in the face. So you keep your rod tip away from you, tail grab, fish in the boat. One motion if you can. And guys, I just broke my line and landed the fish. Just lucky I got that wrapped around my hand. So as you can see, it wasn't the knot that went. When he got me on the bottom just before I got him back up, he's obviously touched a bit of reef, and that's the result. But a better result, he's in the boat. And there it is, the nuke pilchard, inhaled by this guy. Let's get it out of there. And we'll get this guy straight back in the water. Yeah, let's have a good look. Very nice fish. Beautiful. He's just realised he's hooked up. Oh wow, that's a good fish. Very good fish. Oh, holy. It's possibly the biggest metro fish I've hooked in a long, long time. I have a feeling though that that's bitten me through, so that could have been a big bronzy. Righto guys, I've been asked countless times, what do you do with your rigs to make sure that they don't get tangled up at the bottom of your tackle box or in your bag? And it's simple, you don't have to spend a lot of money on things. Piece of cardboard, fold it in half, cut some slots top and bottom. All you do is wrap your rigs around there and finish it by poking your line back through one of the eyes. And that's it, and it conceals your hooks. It costs you nothing, and when you get a bite off, a break off or whatever, you've got rigs ready to go. All right guys, straight back onto another monster. This is a very big fish. We're hoping that this could be the kingy of a lifetime. Filling reef though, almost straight away. Come on, up off the bottom, up off the bottom. Ah, come on. It was only seconds between the last one, once I got the bait back in the water, so it could be a school of very big fish in there. How exciting is this? This is just incredible. He's got reef. Freeze pull him. Let him out, come on. Oh, he's in the reef. It's a very big fish though. Okay. No, he's got me in the reef. Oh, gotta hate this shallow water. 5 meters of water and then reef. Monster fish. Re-rig. Thank God I got the rig board on board. Time to get serious now. We know there's some really big fish. I'm assuming the last one was a shark. Oh, here we go. Yep, right. So I've got a wire trace on there. Whoop, try to steady myself here. Let's say we have some sharks in there, so let's hope this is a good one. Don't think it's as big as what it took last time, but good sized fish nonetheless. Bit of stopping power against him this time. We're just going to be careful that we don't go too hard on the leader. Some powerful fish in there. Come on, up the bottom. I've got to move this rod, but I just can't get right. Here we go. Oh, this is a workout and a half. Broomstick style rod. Big gear. All I can say is thank God we had something bigger on board this time. It's landing a big fish, no matter what it is. It's going to be kind of cool. Hey bro, another kingy mate. There is kingfish everywhere. I think they've just woken up and they're fighting a lot harder now because he's probably the same size as the other one. Oh no, slightly bigger fish. Not slightly, that is a bigger fish. Let's have a look at this guy. He's hit on a wire trace, so that just goes to show you how hungry they are. Normally, even if it's an 80 pound to 100 pound line, they won't look at it. Very cool. Well, there's a quick release. Well, these fish are insanely hungry and they're very hard on the bite, so there's only one thing in my mind to do. We've caught plenty, we've got plenty of footage. Let's get the stick bait in there and see how it goes. Oh, yep. Film that, bro, right on the surface. They are big fish. Yeah, follow the lure, man. This is the best chasing I've ever seen in metro water. Oh, look at them all. Oh. You know the fishing tight when the fish are just sitting at the back of the boat like that. Oh, not a big one. But in between all the excitement of those chasing fish on that stick, we decided to get a bait back out. And this big sambo chasing him, bro. Have a look at that. Get in the water. The sambo's going to try and take this pinky off the line. Look at that. I'm going to get him over here so you can try and get good footage, man. That is incredible. This is probably the most insane inshore fishing I've seen in my life. So guys, you're sharing a very, very cool moment with me. Another quick release. Tight as I thought. What an absolutely incredible morning action we've just seen. I've fished this spot for the last 20 years and rarely seen it fire like that. So to share that with you is an absolutely amazing experience, and I hope you guys can get out here one day and do it for yourselves.